Hello, my name is Juan Velasquez, Solutions Engineer here at Globalli, and in this demo, we will explore the employee onboarding experience from start to finish. We will begin from the moment that the employee receives the registration email and walks through the self-service onboarding flow, where everything is centralized, guided, and fully compliant. Throughout the demo, we're going to cover 5 key areas of the onboarding journey. First, the employee profile setup, where the employee reviews their offer, confirms personal and employment details, and securely provides tax, banking, and identification information. Then we're going to see the benefits enrollment, where they will explore and select available benefits plans, add dependents, and review contribution summaries tailored to their location and eligibility. Then we will see the document signatures, where the offer letter and employment agreements can be reviewed and signed digitally, keeping the entire process paperless and compliant. Then we'll see the background checks, where verification steps are initiated based on the employee's country and role, ensuring the process meets local and organizational needs. And finally, the communities enrollment, where the new hire is introduced to the globally internal community spaces, completes a few fun icebreakers, and officially becomes part of the global team. Before we jump into the platform, let's start from the very beginning, the invitation email the employee receives. Here we can see an invitation to join the company through Globalli, which includes personalized message, the company ID, and a secure registration link. Once the employee clicks the link, they are redirected to the Globalli registration page, where they can create their account by entering their email and setting up a password. As soon as the registration is complete, the onboarding flow begins automatically, guiding the employee step by step through the entire process. The first step is the permissions screen, which welcomes the employee to the company and outlines 3 mandatory acknowledgements: compliance view of documents, payslip viewing permissions, and the privacy notice. These need to be reviewed and accepted before moving forward. These ones are already toggled. Now we click continue. And next we have the role and compensation verification section. Here, the employee can review the offer details, including the role title, employment type, and if we scroll down, we see the compensation package. If something doesn't look right, the employee can decline the offer by clicking here decline, and they can provide a short title for the issue and include additional details. The HR manager will immediately receive a notification to make corrections, after which the employee can restart the flow with the updated offer details. Now we're going to assume that everything is correct, so we click continue. And now we move to the personal information section. Here, the employee uploads a profile pictures and complete key personal details such as gender, date of birth, marital status, and if we scroll below, we have the home address. This form is dynamic, meaning it automatically adapts based on the employee's countries to ensure compliance with local labor regulations. We are hiring in Colombia, where it is required to provide various fields such as the blood type, city of birth, citizen ID number, and even the RH factor. But for countries, for example in Germany, other fields such as religion and migration status are required to remain compliant with local employment laws. This ensures that regardless of where the employee is based, the onboarding process remains both localized and fully compliant. Now let's click continue. We are now in the right to work verification. Here, the employee needs to provide their country's citizenship and answer legal eligibility questions, where they have the right to work in this country. We're going to click yes, or if they require the sponsorship now or in the future, we're going to click no. Now we're going to provide the passport number. We're going to provide here, and then we are prompted to provide a secure ID verification through Persona, where the employee needs to take a selfie and upload a photo of the government issue ID. This process will be covered in a different video. Now we can continue. And now we are in the required documents section. These documents are configured during the implementation and applied automatically to all the employees in a specific country. So HR teams don't need to manually request them for every new hire. In this case, the employee uploads the requested documents directly here. Because this step is mandatory, HR teams no longer need to chase employees or send follow-ups. The system ensures compliance by blocking progression in the onboarding flow until all required documents are provided. For this example, in Colombia, the system requests them to provide the bank account certification, passport or citizen card, and a criminal record certificate, ensuring all the statutory requirements are covered automatically. Now I have uploaded all 3 documents. Now we click continue. And now we are in the emergency contact section. Here the employee needs to add an emergency contact, and here if I open the form, we only need to provide the contact's name, last name, phone number, relationship, and email address. I've already done that. Let me just close here and we continue. And now we are in the tax information section. Here the employee needs to enter the tax file number and upload the corresponding tax form. The company can also upload an empty version of the form, allowing employees to download, fill it out, and upload it back for submission. I've already uploaded here, so we continue. And we have to set up the banking details. If I open the one that is already here, I can see that I already filled up with a Colombian bank account, but this form is dynamic, so it will automatically adjust its fields depending on the country of the bank, ensuring that we're accurate for the different formats and compliance standards. So for example, if I change to a different country, let's say Austria here, okay, here now the IBAN is a required field that is a standard for European bank accounts. So now let me just close here, and we already accepted the terms and conditions. Now we continue. Finally, we reach to the additional information section, which is also country specific. In this example, because we're here in Colombia, the form requests the employee to select their pension and severance fund, that is a social security requirement for this country, plus selecting the type of bank account. In this case, we're going to leave it as a savings account. If we're hiring in a different country, for example the UK, this form will have requested the employee to provide a national insurance number. That is the social security identification for this specific country. Now we just already have selected the specific funds and we're going to continue. Now we have officially created the employee profile and we can go now to the benefits enrollment. We are now in the benefits enroll. This area can be configured during implementation to include benefit carriers, policies, and plans that match each organization's structure. During implementation, companies can define the eligibility requirements by setting up minimum and maximum age ranges, both for employees and their dependents, as well as determining eligibility types based on the employee contract or work status. This ensures every employee only sees benefits they are actually eligible for, streamlining the selection process and keeping everything compliant with the company and regulatory standards. Now we continue. Before selecting the benefits, the platform prompts us to add any dependents. Here, we capture the information such as the dependent name, date of birth, relationship, country, and gender. This data is critical because it can directly impact the benefit eligibility, coverage, and pricing. In this example, I've already added one dependent, so we can see how the benefits are going to add up accordingly. Let's continue. And first, we have the accident insurance. Here we are presented with 3 plan options, each clearly broken down by benefit elements. So if I click here in compare plans, we can see the side-by-side comparisons that makes it easy to understand what's included at each level and choose the most appropriate coverage. For this demo, we're going to close here and go ahead and select the premium package. Now we continue and we move now to the medical benefits. Again, we see the plan options, and if we click here in compare plans, we can see the comparisons. If we click here, we can see the inpatient, outpatient, and additional benefits. What's important here is that if I close here, we have the option to include the dependents. So when I select the dependents, you will notice that the cost of the plans updates automatically. This behavior was configured during implementation, allowing pricing to dynamically adjust based on dependent coverage. For this scenario, we're going to include the dependent and select the standard plan. Now let's continue. And finally, we will move to the wellness program. Similar to the accident insurance, we can compare the elements across the available plans. If we click here, perfect, we can see the 3 light, standard, and premium. And if I close here, then we're going to select the standard package. Now we have the summary of the 3 packages that we have selected. We continue, and now we have completed the benefits enrollment. Now let's continue to the signature of documents. Now it's time to review and sign the documents. First, we open the offer letter. To see the document, we click here in Review and Sign, which launches the integrated e-signature dialog. The first thing that we need to do is accept the terms and conditions. Then we can see the whole document. And to sign, we just click here and sign. Then we select the signature, adopt and sign. Perfect. And now we finalize. Now this will close the dialog and we continue the signature flow, making the process quick, secure, and fully digital. Now let's continue. And we are in the additional document section. These are configured by the company during implementation or specific for employee during the HR enrollment process. This can be set as signature required or acknowledgement only. The employee simply opens the item, signs or acknowledges as specified, and the system tracks completion automatically. Here I have provided 2 links to the Colombian government entities, and we'll acknowledge both. Perfect. And now we continue. Finally, we are in the employment agreement section. Just like we did with the offer letter, we just click here in review and sign. Then we can see the document. Now we scroll down. To sign again, we just click here in sign. And now finish. Perfect. Now this enables the continue button, and we have already signed all the documents, so we can continue to the background checks. Now that we are in the background checks, these are configured during the implementation and can be fully customized depending on the country and role of the employee. During this phase, you can define the type of check that you want to include, such as criminal record verification, education validation, or employment history, and specify which countries or roles they apply to. Once the background check is triggered, let me click here, the employee automatically will receive an email notification like the one you see here, prompting them to complete the required verification process through our integrated partner. After the background check is successfully completed, the employee can continue with the final part of onboarding, which is the community's enrollment, where they will join the first spaces and connect with colleagues across the organization. Finally, we reach the communities step, where the employee begins connecting with their new colleagues and become part of a company culture. Now we continue. Here, first, we are prompted to answer a few icebreaker questions to introduce ourselves. We're going to skip this part, and we can also provide the social media links. And if we continue, now we can join the spaces to engage with others across the organization. In this example, they can join to the Start After Hours space that is dedicated for hobbies and off-work interests, or the Start Sports League to share and discuss all things related to sports. Now we're going to skip this part, and before completing the onboarding process, the employee can preview their full profile, and if we click here continue, officially we have completed the self-service onboarding flow, and the employee has officially joined the company. And that's how easy it is to go from receiving an invitation email to becoming a fully onboarded team member with Globalli, from dynamic country-specific compliance to automatic document handling.